Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Today I'll be painting landscape slash lakescape or waterscape. So we will be doing a little bit of reflection effects and some contrast and of course light effects. So I'm using as I've been using quite recently a 12 by 16 canvas board. You can definitely use any canvas size that you want for yourself. You can even use a different shape canvas, but I prefer that you use, or I suggest that you use something similar to this one, okay, or a proportionate one. We will also be using our palette knife today. So it's going to be exciting because I love using my palette knives, especially in creating some natural effects, okay? And even markings on my canvas board or my paintings. So the colors that I'll be mentioning will be listed in the description box below as always. So we have here cadmium yellow, primary blue or cerulean blue. You can definitely use primary blue, but I only have here my cerulean blue with me, titanium white, burnt sienna, green oxide, and what do you call this? Oxide black. So let's begin now. I'm gonna underpaint first my canvas. So for the underpainting, we'll be doing the background of the painting. That would be the sky and the water reflections, all right? So we will be painting this part and the bottom part. So I'll be getting my blue plus white. So just a mixture of those two colors. Get some light blue color and we'll be doing the sky. We'll be using the same color for the water, but let's start first with the sky. It's very light actually. You can hardly see the blue color, but it's there. I also have with me, like just right beside me, my hair dryer in case I want something to dry quite faster, because we don't want to waste so much of our time, especially on my part because I'm doing a tutorial. So I don't want you to just wait for the paints to dry. All right. So I'll be using the same. Maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of blue. I think it's too light. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue, especially right up here on the upper part. Okay, I hope you can see that. All right, and I'll be using the same colors on the bottom part. Okay. We won't be bothering ourselves with the middle section simply because, you know, a lot of it will be covered with a different color. So let's just focus more on doing the farthest or the farthest portions of the canvas, which is this part and this part. All right. Okay, now for the center, I'm just going to get my brown or burnt sienna just to show you where the horizon is going to go. It's not really in the middle. It's more of right below the middle section. Now, if you're a beginner and you're just too worried about getting your line straight, it's okay. Get a ruler and just use it to get a straight line. It doesn't really matter. Some people are some people have shaky hands And people are different. Okay, not all people are the same. We have all our limitations. So if your hands are shaky, you don't have a steady hand for painting a straight line, um, just get a ruler or something that will guide you to draw a straight line. Even I myself, I don't really have that perfectly steady hand. Sometimes it's shaky, but I've been painting for years, so I know even if I make it a little bit crooked, I know that I can correct it along the way. So just don't worry too much about that. As long as it's basically straight, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. All right. Now I'm going to switch to a smaller brush because we will be doing some trees. Now, if you're worried about this area that is still wet, you can definitely get your hair dryer and get it dried first before you proceed to layering it. And I'll be doing the background mountains. So for the background mountains, we'll be using the brown or the burnt sienna. I'll be getting my white to make it light brown. I'll be adding a little bit of black to tone it down. And this will only be a sketch, okay? Don't worry too much about this one. You can even use your pencil if you want. Just don't worry too much. So there will be a very huge mountain right at the back. Don't make your mountain too perfectly triangle. We want some sort of naturalism going on because we are painting nature. So make it curvy and a little bit of uneven. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my black without washing my brush. And I'm gonna add a little bit of blue to that. We still want to be more on the bluish side. Okay, I'm gonna try this one out. Okay, so I'm gonna make some distant mountains right here. Like that. And then we're gonna use the same color over this mountain. Okay, I'm gonna get my brown and white, and we're gonna extend some more mountains right here. Okay, like that. Yeah. Let's just continue painting this mountain right here, the centermost mountain. And I'm gonna get my brown and yellow plus white, a little bit of black, just to tone everything down. And I'm gonna start creating some patterns on the mountains. You like that. I'm gonna get some darker colors and I'm gonna color it dark. Okay, this part. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of green. So this bottom portion of the mountains will be darker compared to the upper portion. And this is only the underpainting because this is not the actual color. This is not the actual color, to be honest. But we will be using this as an underpainting for the trees. Okay, I'm using an even darker tone. Again, don't worry too much. If you find it a little bit weird that I'm just covering this area black, it's fine. Okay, just trust me on this one. Okay. Right. And then I'll be using this black to a little bit of like outline the shape of the mountain. Okay, like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna get my fan brush. Again, for the fan brush, okay, maybe not my fan brush. I'm just gonna get my regular square brush, but it's quite stiff. So I'll be taking advantage of the stiff bristles. So I'm gonna dab onto my oxide green plus black because we'll be doing some pine trees. Okay? So I did not wet my brush, but um, it's full of paint. So I'm gonna create some pine tree shapes, trees right here. We're starting first with the dark colors. We'll be adding some lighter colors later. For now, let's just do this. Okay, I'll be adding some lighter green, meaning it should appear more light. Okay, again, just trees, okay? Like that. Okay. Now I'll be getting my, what they call this, my hair dryer because I want to dry things quite faster. All right, that's pretty much okay. Now I can layer over this underpainting. This is just very preliminary, just to show you how things are gonna go. Right now, let's go back to doing some more trees because I love doing trees. Now this time I'll be using my well, is my what do you call it, fan brush, and again my fan brush is quite stiff. Right, I'll be dabbing onto my green oxide plus white and yellow. Okay, and brown, just to tone the colors down. Brown, a little bit of black. Okay, and let's start creating some finer details. Okay, I'll be adding more yellow just to make things a little light. Okay, and now I'm gonna switch brush. I'm gonna get my blue. Yeah, let's get some blue. This white. And I'm gonna make the mountain more bluish, okay, in appearance. Because we really want to make it more blue from the distance. Okay, like that. And let's create some unevenness on the mountains. Right, like that. Again, we want to make it appear more bluish. Okay, and like that. And then using this blue, the same thing, we're going to create some negative spacing. Okay, like that. Hey, now I'm gonna get my brown plus black. Okay, let's do some land portion right here. We're just gonna thicken the horizon line to suggest that uh, shoreline. Am I correct? That's the shoreline. Make it a little more curvy. Okay. And I get my black like that. Mhm. Again, using my black plus green oxide, let's do some reflections. Reflections are the distorted image of the things or thing that is being reflected. Okay, so don't make the reflection look exactly the same as this area. Okay, just make it more abstractish, but somehow it should be consistent with what is being reflected. So if there's a huge tree, there should also be a reflection of a huge tree right here. Okay, I'm just going to continue with the mixture of black and green. I really love doing reflections because you really don't have to think too much, especially if you've been painting for quite for a relatively long period of time. It's like just playing, not so much to think about. Again, I'm just mixing my black and green oxide for the reflections, but you can add a little bit of yellow, just to not depart too much from the thing that is being reflected, and that is the trees. And we want our trees, even if they are only reflections, to look like trees, okay? So don't depart too much from the general shape of the trees or the things that are being reflected. Reflections are still the image of the thing that is being reflected, only that they are distorted. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, and I hope that it helps, especially beginners. But I would like to assume that even beginners, kind of know what I'm talking about. Of course, not only the trees are the things that are being reflected here, because remember we have a mountain right there at the back. So I'm gonna use the same colors that we use for the mountains, but again, it will be, yeah, a distorted reflection, a distorted image, okay, of the mountain. And for that, I'll be again using my brown, burnt sienna plus white. And maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of black just to tone down the color. Okay, let's create the reflection of the mountain. So the mountain here is right here, so it should be around here. Mhm. Okay, and then Just gonna go right there. Remember that it has that mountain. So, okay, it's like there. And here it's the opposite. Okay, don't forget that. It's a little bit lower. So it should be right here. All right, and then let's just color. I'll be using my fingers or my hands just to make the colors appear more like watery. I'm gonna get my black. Okay, the reflections should still make sense. Should still make sense. While it's just a reflection, it should still, you know, be consistent with the thing above it. Right. Okay. I'm gonna mix this with blue for the reflection of the mountain. This is really abstractish. I like it. Okay. And right here, there should be reflection of the mountain. Okay, like that. All right. Gonna get my light brown, so I'm just gonna mix my brown and white. Okay, so let's create some highlights along the horizon line. Just highlight that part. It doesn't have to be super, like perfectly straight. It could be a curvy uh, road or a curvy, like, um, it's so hard to explain, or a not cemented part of the land. Okay, I'm gonna get my white. Let's highlight even more the horizon line. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm gonna get my palette knife now as promised. So I'm gonna dab onto my light brown that we already have here. I'm gonna add white. So I'm just gonna use the back of my palette knife. Okay, the back of the palette knife to create some texture. And the more natural or the more random the streaks are, the more natural it's going to appear. Think of it as applying some Nutella on your sandwich. I'm gonna apply right here. Okay, and of course, don't forget. But for the reflections, make it a little more horizontal. Okay, okay, like that. Make it more horizontal to, to really mimic the waters. Right, like that. Using a small brush, I'm gonna darken. Right. Now using some bluish color. Oh, that's too dark. Let's create some like horizontal lines. And vertical lines as well. All right, now using my green oxide plus yellow, maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of white and then brown. Some more brownish, yellowish colors on the left side, on the right side, I mean, sorry. So, which means the reflection should also be consistent with that. Okay, don't forget. Whatever color is present on this portion should also be present on the reflection part. Just bear that in mind. All right, like that. I need some dark colors mixed with blue. Whenever we darken the mountain part, let's add a little bit of blue to that, to the colors. Simply because, again, the farther an object is, the more bluish they appear, even if they're not really blue. Okay, so I'm gonna make it more light blue. Okay, here, again, the color should just be here. You don't have to make it like perfect. Remember that perfection is not really um, important or not even necessary when it comes to reflections. I'm just adding a little bit of highlighted colors. Oops, it's too much. Okay, like that. All right, now I'm gonna use my hair dryer again. Okay, that's perfect. Now that's enough drying for me to be able to layer over it. I'm not gonna layer it like for the purpose of covering it. I'm just gonna layer it for the purpose of glazing it. So I'll be using a soft white brush, okay, like this. Okay, I'm gonna run on this area, the bottom part, a watered down white and blue. So I'm gonna dab onto my white and blue again. I'm gonna water it down, meaning I'll be using more water than usual. Okay. And I'm gonna quickly run my brush, okay, on this area. It's watered down. Okay. You can add more water if you want, just to make it appear more liquidy. Okay. And then I'm gonna pull. Okay. I'm gonna get a towel and wipe it off. Sorry about that. Like that. Gonna get my black. Okay, and some a little bit of yellow green. So we're basically redoing the reflection part, but the watering down or the layering of watered down white really helps us achieve that, water look that we need to do. Now, using this, let's go back to the reflection of the mountain. So slightly. Okay, like that. Okay, now using our palette knife, I'm gonna use the sides. I'm gonna dab onto my, again, light blue. And just drag it horizontally. Don't drag it vertically just yet. All right. Okay, now drag it down. To help us achieve that natural look that we want. Okay, I got it. And you can add a little bit of texture on the land part. And then you can redefine the horizon line. Okay. Now I'm gonna use my palette knife, my fan brush again. Just for detailing. Okay. Like that. And then maybe I'm gonna use my hair dryer. And I'm gonna get a little bit of blue. Sorry, not blue. I mean white. Some white and blue. Let's cover the mountains. Like that. Okay. And I'm just gonna clean this. Using some brighter blue or lighter blue. Just gonna highlight along the edges. Right. Let's also brighten this area. Like that. I really like this one. Okay, so I'm going to sign this now because it's done. Wipe it off. I'm going to get a smaller brush just for the purpose of signing it. I'm going to use my white right here, side here. And it's finished. So I hope you enjoy that one, and I hope you paint along with me. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section below. It's very simple, actually. Even a kid can do this, all right? So I hope you enjoy that one, and I hope you paint along with me, and see you in my next one, guys. Have a great day, and have a great rest of the week. Bye! Love you!